All right, let's talk about health and fitness. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise, all the fads, all the crazy stuff you see online. Using the American College of Sports Medicine's guide, we're going to build a simple, science-backed plan that actually works for you. Think of it as your own personal health blueprint.
So, have you ever felt like you're just drowning in health advice? One day it's eat this, the next day it's never eat that. If you felt that confusion, trust me, you are not alone. It's a wild world out there.
But what if we could swap all that chaos for just clarity? Well, that's exactly what we're about to do. We're going to use a really simple 4-pillar framework to build a plan that you can actually stick with, a plan that is all yours.
And that brings us to pillar number 1, know your starting point. I mean, it makes sense, right? Before you can build anything, you've got to survey the land. You have to get a real, honest look at where you are right now. And that journey starts with a little concept called wellness.
Now, this is a really important shift in how we think about health. See, modern wellness isn't just about not being sick. It's a proactive, positive way of life. It's about exercising because you want to feel strong and have energy for the things you love, not just because you're trying to prevent a disease. It's about moving towards health, not just running away from illness.
And here's the thing, wellness isn't some on or off switch. It's more like a spectrum, a continuum. For each of these areas, physical, emotional, social, we all fall somewhere along the line. You know, you might feel super fit physically, but maybe a little disconnected socially. The goal isn't to be perfect everywhere. It's just about finding a little more balance across the board.
And one last thing before we move on, safety first. Before you jump into any new physical routine, it's so important to make sure you're ready. A super simple screening questionnaire like the PAR-Q Plus is a great way to do that. It just helps make sure you're good to go before you start making changes.
Okay, so once you know your starting point, it's time to check the fuel you're putting in the tank. This is our second pillar, nutrition. Just like a car, your body needs the right kind of energy to run well, and understanding that energy is, well, it's a game changer.
Let's talk about this number, 3,500. This is one of the most basic, fundamental ideas in nutrition. There are about 3,500 calories in 1 pound of body fat. So at the end of the day, managing your weight really just comes down to managing this energy balance over time. A small deficit of 500 calories a day, for example, adds up to about a pound of fat loss per week.
So where do we get these calories? Well, they come from 3 main sources, what we call macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Now, everyone's needs are a little different, but the ACSM guidelines point to a balanced approach like this. You've got carbs for that quick energy, fats for cell function and endurance, and protein to help repair and build tissue. It's not a random mix. It's a formula designed to fuel your body for everything it needs to do.
Think of them as your macronutrient team. Carbohydrates from things like fruits and whole grains are your main fuel source. Fats, and we're talking the healthy kind from nuts, fish, and oils, are absolutely essential for your cells and for long-lasting energy. And protein, that's the construction crew, the building blocks that repair your body. A truly healthy diet has a good variety from all 3 of these groups.
All right, we've got the right fuel in the tank. Our third pillar is all about putting that energy to work. It's about moving with purpose. A really solid fitness program is built on 2 core types of exercise, and each one does something unique and powerful for your body. On one side, we have aerobic exercise. This is any kind of rhythmic activity that gets your heart pumping. You know, brisk walking, running, cycling. Its main job is to keep your heart and your whole circulatory system healthy. Then, on the other side, you've got resistance training. This is what makes your muscles work against some kind of force. And the huge benefit here? It builds muscle, which actually boosts your metabolism. That means you burn more calories all day long, even when you're just sitting around.
And here's why resistance training is so incredibly important. As we get older, we naturally start to lose muscle mass. We're talking about 5% every decade after you turn 30. That muscle is your metabolic engine. Resistance training is the single best way to fight back against that decline, helping you keep a strong metabolism for the long haul.
And that brings us to our final and, maybe the most important pillar of all, your mindset. Because let's be honest, you can have the perfect diet and the perfect workout plan, but if your head isn't in the right place, making those changes stick is next to impossible. This quote from the ACSM guide just says it all. Lasting change doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. And that intention has to start with knowing where you're headed. Setting goals is that first step. It's creating the roadmap to get you where you want to be.
So how do you set goals that actually work? The trick is to connect your big long-term vision, like, say, finishing a 5K in 3 months, with really small, doable short-term steps. Maybe that's just walking for 10 minutes every night this week. Those little wins build confidence. They build momentum. And when you track your progress, you create this powerful feedback loop that keeps you motivated.
And finally, please, do not try to do this alone. The science on this is crystal clear. Having a support system is a huge motivator. It could be a workout buddy, your family cheering you on, a community group. Just having people in your corner can make all the difference, especially on those days when you're just not feeling it. So let's pull it all together. Let's step back and take a look at what this personal blueprint actually looks like when you see the whole picture.
It's really these 4 pillars, all working together. You've got self-assessment, so you know your starting line, smart nutrition to fuel your body, purposeful exercise to build your strength, and a resilient mindset to make it all last. These aren't just items on a checklist. They're the interconnected foundation for a genuinely healthy life.
So the question isn't, how do I do all of this at once? That's just a recipe for burnout. The real question is, what's your first step? It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk after dinner, or adding 1 more vegetable to your plate. What is the first small brick that you will lay for your health blueprint starting today?